You see the countdown?
I don't.
2, 1. All right.
All
We
right, we're
are
back.
we're back. My God. I don't know what happened, man.
It's all
Listen,
good, man.
listen, all I can say, did you hear my message to our viewers about what they can do to help our show work better? Did you hear me say that?
Oh no, I didn't. What was that?
Guys, viewers, if you like what we do, the best way to help out, do those big three, man. Like, comment, subscribe, especially subscribe. If we can get to our minimum subscribership required and viewership required on YouTube, we can then monetize the channel, and
And
then
get
we can
Eric
actually
some
make some
goddamn
money
internet.
and get me some internet. My God, my internet. I have an Airport Extreme, like a new gen Airport Extreme, and an Airport Express. I mean, come on. Who does anyone do people like Apple makes a good router? This should be fine.
Yep.
And
Hey,
I have never, it's never. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Or maybe I live in I don't know, man. I don't know what the problem is. My internet sucks though. Anyway, let's keep talking.
so yeah, I was telling the viewers about CTHR, right? The am I saying it right? Masonite,
I think it's
which
moissanite.
is moissanite. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was completely pronouncing it incorrectly. But basically, how they had such an earnings beat for Q4. The fact that their earnings per share beat was 200% just shows how fast this trend is growing. And that's thanks to things like TikTok, um, really has been focusing hard on moissanite, um, and just growing ethical concerns about diamonds in general, plus the fact moissanite is so much cheaper, right? You could get for the equivalent of what you would get a 2 carat diamond for, you could get 5 carats now in
Wow.
moissanite, right?
Yeah, holy cow.
Um, so it just goes to show where our generation is putting their money, right? They want ethical sources. They want they want more bang for their buck, and they're not buying into this traditional it has to be a diamond thing. So
I
my shares are up right now a considerable amount. CTHR
mm-hmm.
is up just post market 30% after hours, which is killer,
Woo.
right? But
Jesus.
I plan not
Yeah.
to play this short term. I plan to hold these for a long time because I think this trend is only going to accelerate, especially post
You think
COVID.
so?
Yes, we're going to see. I mean, how many
Okay.
people have held off engagements? How many people have held off on gifts? I mean, we have February now. We got Valentine's Day. Um, a moissanite necklace or any sort of jewelry in general is going to be way more appealing towards our type of crowd now. Um, and I think Q1 is also going to be a beat, but we'll see.
You know what? Valentine's Day. You make a good point. I mean, we live in the most socially conscious
Hmm.
generation in our world's
Right.
history. I get it, and I believe it. In fact, I'll probably join you.
Yeah.
I'll probably join a long-term position with you. Uh, what I think is really funny about this is, we all know. Not we may not all know, but if you're not familiar, the premium on diamonds is completely
Oh yeah.
fabricated,
The
right?
industry itself is
We
fabricated.
the indicate industry is a hoax that's basically the price of which has been driven up strictly by a intentionally restricted supply.
And if you don't,
It's one company just
and it's not only that. If you don't believe us, look at the price for a new 2 carat diamond ring, and then look at the price you will get for selling the same exact 2 carat diamond ring, and just
yeah.
your mouth will drop. It's like
It's
eight
it's obvious
eight
in that.
grand versus like 1,200.
Yeah. Well, so what's funny to me about this is that you say like, oh well, if you look at the diamond on your finger and you feel bad about it,
Yep.
here's one that looks just like it, but it's bigger and you won't feel bad. But what I love about that, more so than the investing opportunity, is that it really, really just directly pokes a hole in our valuation, not monetary, but like our personal valuation, our sentimental attachment to something just because we think it's
Because
expensive.
someone told us
You
it's
know,
expensive.
because now people are happy to buy this this fake lab grown diamond, and they feel better
Yep.
about it. It's just like it is it completely parts the veil of luxury and really just shows you it literally is just a rock, and you would be just as happy, if not happier, with a cheaper fake rock that looks
And
nice.
make you feel good
It's
about it.
so
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, and you feel better about a fake one. I mean, it's the same argument behind like Beyond Meat and stuff like that, but at least Beyond Meat is food. We need it. This is just a rock you put on your finger. I love it. I love how this upends, any conception that
No, it's great.
that diamonds are valuable in any way. But Paul, I have a follow-up question to you though about this.
Go ahead.
Do you think this is going to have any appreciable effect on the diamond industry?
That's actually my hope in general, right? Because if we talk about usefulness, the only real usefulness of a diamond is in its hardness, right? When you utilize it for manufacturing purposes, sanding down really hard surfaces. Basically, it's like a construction industry must have. But other than
Right.
that, it's really almost a wasted resource right now, right?
Well, and on top of it, I don't know if you read this. I'm sure you did. I know you did. You did a lot. You took a dive on this one. Um, Moissanite is, from what I understand, roughly between 92% as hard as a diamond.
It's a 9.5 on the scale of hardness scale rather than a 10. So it's
No,
pretty
so it's
damn
95%
right.
as
It's
hard.
it's pretty damn close.
So even for most industrial purposes and commercial purposes,
Yep.
like you're talking about, moissanite will still do better. Can you imagine? I don't know. I don't know the equipment that's used, like that you're referring to.
Hmm.
To be honest, I don't know what I don't know what object that you would need to buy that is for sanding down stuff that requires a diamond. But whoever that is, whatever industry requires that, can you just imagine? Hey, oh, by the way, we can make you the same thing in a lab. It'll be cheaper and just as good. It'll be a whatever. I don't know what it is, quarter of the price or
Hmm.
something. Like,
I mean, that's huge, right? The biggest and I looked into that as well, and that's I've only invested so far in Charles and Colvard is a jewelry specific company. And the reason why I've
mm,
only invested so far in this is because they are lab grown. So it's hard to recreate that to economies of scale, right? It's hard to scale that up to the
mm-hmm.
level where industrial use would be we'd be able to flip the diamond industry on its head and like really have this everywhere. And there will always be applications where you need that hardness scale of 10. You need that top end um hardness for sanding or grinding or cutting, what have you. But what I really hope is this is the beginning to our generation and generations to come just really saying fuck the story that you told us. We're just not going to engage in this unethical fabricated economy essentially, right? We're going to do our
Yeah,
own thing. We're going to do the smart thing and we're going to do the ethical thing here. So, I think big potential moving forward.
pretty cool, man. I'm into it.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully I'm going to keep doing I'm going to keep digging and see if there are any industrial applications that we potentially, who knows, maybe there's a couple OTC stocks out there that
Mm,
that we could utilize to buy in, maybe they're penny stocks or whatever, but we see potential and throw a couple $100 and retire rich men. Who knows? On
boy.
to our next part. This is our crypto news. Ethereum
Oh,
fees today hit an all time high, so high that exchanges were temporarily halting Ethereum transactions. So, to put a little background into it, for those of you that don't know, Ethereum runs on what's called gas. And gas is essentially the fee that's utilized when you utilize any token that runs on the Ethereum network. Today, it hit a high of $17.48 per transaction, which is astronomically crazy. We're talking gas fees normally in the 20 cents, 30 cents.
Wow.
But this goes to show how much the Ethereum network is getting utilized right now and getting traded and getting bought up. This is crazy. Furthermore, just because I'm apparently an Ethereum bull now, I was reading into ETH 2.0 further. What they're going to start doing, and they haven't implemented it yet, but they have started implementing trials of the Ethereum 2.0 network, which is an upgrade, right? This is the next level of this utilization of this platform. And what they're planning to do is essentially what's called an ETH burn, ETH burn. So every time an Ethereum is utilized on a network and created to make a transaction, they are going to burn one off of the network. So we are creating essentially a supply demand yet again. So if you're holding Ethereum, if you happen to be one of the lucky few that has 32 Ethereum or over, you can essentially run a node and it requires very little power. I could do it from my MacBook here, right? And in the future, for 2.0, what they're planning to do is pay you those fees if you're running a node. And essentially, it's a free way to make money for having a node that utilizes the network that all these tokens are running on. So you become part of the network. You're almost like a miner at that point, and you are just receiving more Ethereum for your Ethereum. And even if you don't have the 32, what they're going to do is there's going to be groups of people that could get together and put in their Ethereum in order to utilize this node network. So I'm telling you, man, people are going to be, once they realize Ethereum's potential, they are going to buy it up in spades. It's going to be crazy.
Paulie, I have two questions for you.
Yeah.
About everything you just said. The first one is, can you give an example of what Ethereum is used for, like practically speaking?
So Ethereum is a transaction network for it's a transaction network that 80% of the tokens are essentially built upon. So say you have a token you've made that runs on the network, right? And I want to send you 60 of this token, whatever it may be, right?
Okay.
When I send that token to you, it utilizes the Ethereum network. It's built off of its platform. And that requires a gas fee in order to transfer, right? And there's other projects as well. I'm not a genius when it comes to how the Ethereum network runs, but basically every time you use the decentralized protocol, when it utilizes all the different computers that are running Ethereum nodes, essentially Ethereum gets its fee out of that. That's a pretty shitty way of explaining it, and I think I need to do a little more homework so I could update the viewers better on that.
Interesting. I'm curious because I somewhat understand, I understand Bitcoin and blockchain and a lot of these basic concepts, I get them. I, to this day, must admit that I still don't fully understand the application for Ethereum. Not saying it's not there. I just
Right.
don't get it.
Right.
And you don't have to. I'm not asking you to answer it now.
No.
It's just something I've always wondered about because if you talk about it coming to prevalence, I'm like, well, man, like, what does that mean? When it becomes super super desirable, for what purpose do people use it? So that's the first thing. And maybe I'll research a little bit of that myself. My second question to you is, um, if I'm understanding you correctly, when ETH 2.0 arrives, you said that's when you can, if you have 32
Hmm.
Ethereum, you can become a node. Are you going to do it?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
I'll
know?
probably run 5 or 6 nodes. It depends
Yeah.
how much my computer can handle. That's the biggest thing, right? While I'm sleeping, if I can run a few nodes, wake up, and I have another quarter Ethereum every night, I'm absolutely going
Yeah.
to do that.
Interesting. So, huh? When is there a timeline for when this might
They
happen?
they give timelines, and Ethereum 2.0 was supposed to be put into effect like two years ago, and they just
Oh,
started testing 1.0, I think December. So
I see.
you can't really rely, even if they do put out an arbitrary date, you can't rely on it. But I think you're right. What I need to do is we need to have an Ethereum deep dive, just an entire podcast based off of Ethereum, what it means, what its utilization is, and just basic education on it because I would benefit as well. I should have been with how much I have invested in Ethereum, I should know more about the network, about its transactions, and about its utilization. Um, yeah, it's just plain and simple. I have enough money in there now where I should know everything about the project.
I mean, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you, and yeah, but I'm curious, and when that day comes, I am interested in starting a node if I can, if it makes sense. I'd love to.
Absolutely. So yeah, just quick update. Ethereum's running, and we're still looking good, man. Hopefully we hit that 2K by Sunday. We'll give a nice
Yeah, I
update
know.
then.
In our crypto world, we took that big run up, and we've sort of like paused for our breath.
Little bit of a breath
Been
before the
hang.
next run.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to holding you accountable for your bet that Ethereum's going to hit 2K by Sunday.
Yes, sir. All
Still
right.
believe in it, right?
Absolutely. High
All right.
conviction, high conviction.
High conviction.
So, for everybody, thank you again. Big three. You know what this means. Like, subscribe, comment, share if you want to. We had a bit of a choppy episode today, part one and
That's
part
my
two,
fault.
but that's okay. Um, until then, we'll see you all tomorrow. Keep making money. Peace out.